Sacred moments with you. Sacred moments. Yeah. Enter in sacred moments. I'm here in this space on this day with you. I'm here in this sacred space witnessing the morning dew. Sacred moments. In voice and in victory, we will share our thoughtful view, conversing and even challenging things we thought we knew. Sacred moments. With expectancy and excitement is this time set aside. Won't you enter in with us? And come on, let's take this ride. Riding the waves of wonder and whimsy, we're not here to do silly or flimsy. We're sacred moments. We are here open to listen and engage and converse. You know I'm going to keep the triune God in sight and first. I'm here with you on this holy mountain of meaning, sharing vows and syllables, discussing powerful gleanings. It's sacred moments. With songs and sonnets and poems and prose, this is not just another one of those radio shows. It's sacred moments. It's sacred moments with me as your host, here to clear and create and commune with you from coast to coast. It's sacred moments. Enter. It is sacred moments with you. Oh, good morning. Good morning. I am like so happy that today is Sunday and that it's quiet and that we are on the air. This is our I'm close to the end of the year. Yes. Yes, close to the end of the year. Audience, we have been on for about 6 months. I think we need a whoop whoop. Yes.
Yeah,
Do
I
that,
love
alter
it.
ego.
It's all
Good morning,
you. It's all
everybody.
you. I
How am
said it's
I?
all you. You made
Yeah,
this show.
listen. Praise him. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. And it's interesting because I have actually been waking up later than normal. When I worked at my last job, I had to be to work at 7:15 in
Mm,
another state.
mm,
So it was like a 40-minute drive. And so I was up like at 5 almost every morning.
mhm,
And that lasted for a bit. But now my time is between like 7 and 8. And I
mm,
really like to have that quiet time in the morning, just doing nothing. So
mhm.
anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I
Good
don't.
morning.
I haven't been sleeping. I don't know what's going on with me.
You have not been sleeping?
No, I don't know. I get up early. I go to sleep late. I don't know. I'm just tired all the time. The baby sleep schedule is off too, so that has a lot to do
Mhm.
with it. But I don't know.
You know what though? You're also like I want to say like your mind is like this ongoing computer because you have
Yeah,
all of these ideals and then you sleep.
yeah.
I'm sure that you probably are thinking about that. You might even be dreaming about it.
Well, you know what I started doing? I started listening to like I would put on Les Brown or somebody like
Mhm.
that while I
Mhm.
go to sleep,
Mhm.
so I could just have positive thoughts, but nothing else. Because I'm like you said, I wake up and I'm writing something down, or
Mhm.
like I can't turn my brain off. So I'm like, hey, maybe if I listen to something, but I don't really want to listen to music. Trying to be conscious of what I'm listening to while I'm asleep. So I've been
Mhm.
trying that, but I still wake up. Still
Okay.
get back up. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I
There's
don't
this
know.
thing, I think it's called calm or something. Somebody else
Mhm.
was telling me about it, and it kind of helps you to like unwind in your mind, and
Mhm.
just let go. Like for me, I'm waking up because I'm feeling like I have, especially if I have to preach or teach something. I'm
Mhm.
I'm I'm thinking about that like while I sleep, and then I wake up and I write something down. I do a lot of my poems and messages like maybe 3 or 4 in the morning, but it's not that I want to be up. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I really the
Yeah.
rest is sleeping.
Well,
Yeah.
Mel says smooth jazz. I didn't think about that. I could try that
Oh,
too. But
smooth.
somebody has said like if you're waking up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, God wants you to talk to Him. So I was praying, and I still can't go back to sleep. So I'm sure you didn't want me to get up at 3 o'clock, pray, and then not go back to sleep. So I'm like that can't be it. So I might pray a little bit, but I'm like now I'm just up, you know. So I don't know. But
Hmm.
what happened was like I started having um I can't think of the name. You know, you go to sleep, but then like you're trying to wake up, but you can't wake up. It's like you're
Oh,
in between,
I did. It's called I think it's called a death cradle or something like that.
something like that. But
Yeah.
it scared
Hmm.
me so bad the last time I had it. Gary was in the room, and I'm trying. I felt myself waking up, but I
Hmm.
couldn't get up. So I'm
Yeah.
like trying to force myself to wake up, and then it happened again where I felt like I couldn't get up, but like I wasn't all the way back in my body. It was weird. So I'm like, maybe it's what I'm watching, maybe it's what I'm listening to. Something's not right. So now I'm like, I don't want to go to sleep all the way. So I'm like, let me just make sure I'm putting some positive energy out there.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then I do hair. I have people coming in here. I'm like, maybe they bringing some stuff in here. I don't know what's going on, but ever
Hmm.
since then, I just can't. So I'm praying, listening to music, writing stuff down, checking on the kids. I just haven't been able to sleep since we turned the clocks back. I've been having really horrible sleeping
Wow, that's
patterns.
a while though since we turned the
Yeah.
clocks back. Now, if you I don't know if you had the opportunity, but what I did this week, and I absolutely needed to do it because it wasn't going to be pretty if I didn't. I went away on a mini vacation. It wasn't a vacation. I got a
Mhm.
room somewhere where I could look at the ocean for 2 days
Mhm.
and pull my
Mhm.
windows open and really literally just did that. I read, I ordered room service, which was
Mhm.
expensive, but I never do that. But I was like, I don't even want to be around a lot of people because of
Yeah.
everything that's going on. But the first night, I slept like 8.5 hours.
Mm.
Yeah. And my spirit needed to be in a different environment. I know that I always feel very connected to God in nature, whether it's like in a park or the ocean. Although I can't swim, but if I look
Mhm.
at it and see it, like I always have this settling. And
Mhm.
maybe, every now and then I just decided that I would do that in order that would be my self care. You
Yeah.
know.
I could do that. I probably could get a good 24 hours
Mm-hmm.
before they start calling me. Where's the baby shoes? Where's the baby
Mm-hmm.
socks?
Mm-hmm.
So I probably could just go. I
Just
need to do
even if
that.
it's overnight. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And just getting away from that environment for a minute. And, I told my students, because we were at the end of we're getting close to the end of the semester. I'm not even, I have to teach on Thursday, but don't call me. Like nobody called me,
Mhm.
phone off, all
Yeah.
of that. And it really, really did help me. So I
Yeah.
wonder what our audience did this week. Did they do anything for themselves? Anybody practice any self-care? A lot of people are getting ready for the holidays, Christmas,
Mhm.
New Year's, which is kind of what we're moving into. Um, and it's really important for us to take a step back because
Mhm.
everybody, the world will say, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to keep going, you got to get the bank, you got to, that's good. But at some point,
Mhm.
you got to stop too and,
Mhm.
take care of yourself.
Yeah. Well, I want to shout out my twins. They're 3 today. So happy
Woo!
birthday to my twins, miracle babies. So we're gonna be doing cake and ice cream and balloons for them today. So a
Wow.
shout out to my babies.
Well, we're going to shout out because I didn't sing my song this morning, but I'm going to sing "Happy Birthday." I'm going to
Okay.
sing to the twins, and I'm also going to sing to one of my ministry partners, Minister Deborah Hooper, whose birthday is today. I'm not sure exactly how old she is. I don't know if she's on, but if she listens later, she shares her birthday with three miracle babies. Happy birthday, twins! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Woo, 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 woo.
Thank
Yes,
you. I'll make
yes,
sure I let them watch this.
yes. Oh, and Romel, that's right. You're a twin. Yes, I forgot
Oh,
about
really?
that. Yes. I mean, I know you have a sister, but yes, yes. She said twins rock.
I was thinking about doing the show with twins just to celebrate them and just have them come on and just talk about what it's like. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Oh, Deborah said I turned off my alarm clock until January the 3rd. Wow. And you know what?
Okay.
Because we get so used to just going, it also
Mhm.
takes us a while to stop going.
Mhm.
And that's the thing with even like you waking up and me waking up at a certain time. I try to wake up when I do wake up and I have a poem or a line or something. If I don't write it down, I forget it. How about you?
Yeah, I have. I just started putting the notes on my phone now because I'm too tired to even get up, turn the light on. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
just grab my phone and just start typing in the notes.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I'll forget, and then like sometimes my dreams are so vivid. I'm like, I need to write that down. That would be a movie or something. Let me write it
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
But I would
I
rather sleep though.
I had a like this weird dream last week that of a person who passed away. It had to be at least 5 years ago. And in my dream, they came to me telling me to call someone. And it was
Mm,
someone I did not want to call.
hmm
So I had a little bit of a temper tantrum about that.
You stay getting those messages. It's things you don't want to do.
You're right. And that is, you know what, I think for me it comes from sometimes being disappointed, with
Mhm.
what how somebody is going to see what I'm doing, perceive it to be. I think I'm aware that, sometimes I know I'm mostly like a good, kind-hearted person. And, people take that for granted sometimes. So I'm like
Mhm.
become very aware that like I don't want to be taken for granted or have
Mhm.
somebody think differently than what my intention is. But I don't know
Mhm.
what that's about. Me and the Lord will have a conversation about
Yeah.
that.
You stay. Maybe you always saying no to something. He's like, listen, get up. I said do X, Y, and Z. So he had to send somebody to you in your dream because you're like, I ain't calling that person. I said call.
Exactly.
Come at you differently so you can listen. That's funny.
I know. I was telling one of my friends, like I had an all-out temper tantrum. I even stopped my foot. So if you can imagine a 60-year-old person stomping their foot, I was like, this is really bad, God. Oh man. I of course I did it. And actually the conversation wound up being better than I thought it was going to be. But
Mhm.
you still don't want, there are things you don't want to do.
Mhm.
Even being a mom, there's things that you want to do, don't want to
Mhm.
do, that you have
Mhm.
to do because you're a boss or you're a mom or you're a caretaker,
Mhm.
whatever that is. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your plans for the holiday? What are you doing
Uh,
around Christmas?
well, we canceled as of yesterday, and I'm saying our family member that hosts Christmas every year decided because of I'm assuming that it was more because of the large COVID rate that's happening that we decided that we're not going to gather like we normally do. So, and I fully understand that.
Mhm.
I have one other part of my family that they are gathering together, but I'm not going to attend that. So to be honest with you, I think I'm going to have just a day in the house in
Mhm.
my really comfy pajamas
Mhm.
with in every and any kind of food that I want to have that day. And I think I'm just going to, I don't have Netflix. I'm the only person in America that doesn't have Netflix,
Mm.
Hulu, and all. I know. I'm out in my,
What?
yeah, I don't have
Why
any of
don't you? I mean, do you want my login? What's going on? You're missing too many. I'll add you on. That's crazy.
most people say that. Somebody asked me that last night, have you seen this? And I was like, I don't have it. And they looked at me like, where the heck you been? I'm like, in the
Like,
house.
what do you do all day? How are you surviving without Netflix?
I don't have any of those channels. I don't have all the ones that people be saying you should watch this show. Um, I
Yeah.
just have I actually have limited channels because my income is limited, so it's not that big of a deal for me. And if I want to watch something, I'll go to somebody's house. I guess I don't know, but that's what I'm planning on doing. Just maybe just
Mhm.
trying to really doing very little as
Mhm.
far as celebratory with other people.
Mhm.
I wonder what our audience is doing. Listen, hit us up on the chat and let us know what your thoughts are about or holiday, the good, the bad, the ugly. What are you doing
Mhm.
on that day or the Christmas Eve? My best friends' daughters and all of the cousins, they're going to Florida for
Mhm.
tomorrow. I think they're leaving tomorrow with the
Mhm.
kids and hang out. So, what are you doing?
My family is going to Florida, I think. Some of them anyway. And
Hmm.
then we're staying home as usual. Just staying home. We used to get together Christmas Eve and do like a seafood dinner and then
Mm,
exchange gifts. But when grandmoms pass away, families seem to fall apart. So since my grandma passed away and then COVID and then my
yeah.
aunt passed away, like a lot of things have been different. So I'm just trying to create new memories, trying to think of my own traditions to build with my children. I think because this Christmas, um, funds are really limited for us. So I'm going to probably do something like a New Year's party. So we have everybody's getting one gift.
Hmm.
Um, and for some reason, Ahmad believes in Santa Claus. He's 6. Now I don't know why, because I don't
He
promote
doesn't believe,
Santa
or he
Claus.
does
He
believe.
does. And he's like,
Okay.
"Oh, you can't get gifts before," because I'm like, because he wants a fish. So I'm like, I don't want to be out Christmas Eve trying to get the fish. What I'm going to do with the fish? So I'm like, well, Santa Claus can bring you gifts before Christmas. He's like, no, he can't. Like, you get gifts. You can get one gift on Christmas Eve, and if you're on a naughty list, you get coal. Like, he knows the whole story.
Oh wow.
So like now we're gonna put the tree up Christmas Eve. It's like a whole thing, and I'm like, why don't we just tell him that Santa Claus isn't real? Like I never promoted that, so I don't know. I guess it'll be kind of fun for him, like not to
Hmm.
crush his dreams, but yeah, it's just so weird to me that he believes in Santa Claus when we never even talk about. I don't even think we ever say Santa Claus in this house ever. But
Well, did that's what I was going to say. So, so to you and our audience, did anybody really believe in Santa Claus? And if you did, when did you stop? Were you devastated? I think me and your mom were talking about that this week, and for the life of me, I don't remember. I think at one point I probably did believe in Santa Claus, but then at another point I didn't. But I don't ever remember like when it happened, and I don't remember feeling devastated or anything. I knew my mom bought that doll that I wanted because I was going off in the store like, "Can I have that doll?" And I was
mm-hmm.
asking her. I wasn't asking Santa Claus. I figured,
Right.
I should ask her. And so,
Mm-hmm.
at what point did?
Ramel said she's gonna be with her family. Um, her sister is at her dad's house and it's big, so they'll be safe. Um, I know I never believed in Santa Claus, and I remember one year trying to get Mira and Aaliyah to believe in Santa Claus. Like I wrapped a certain amount of gifts one color, and I'm like, this is from Santa Claus, and they were like, whatever, Santa Claus is not real.
Yeah.
So I just gave up on it. So here he comes, and I can't remember what let me to understand that he believed in Santa Claus. He said something. I'm like, wait, you believe in Santa Claus? He's like, of course. Like, who doesn't
Oh,
believe in Santa Claus?
yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
at
going to
the
buy the
time.
fish probably this week, and then we just have to talk about how Santa Claus dropped it off early. Um, because I don't know what else to do. But yeah, that's the
Yeah.
plan. Wait, let's see.
Okay.
We have a comment here. Kimberly, I believe, but couldn't figure out how he came through the skylight in the bathroom. Realized sometime in elementary school, I was so sad. Oh,
Hmm. Wow. So this is I was at my goddaughter's yesterday, and that question we asked the same question, did you believe in Santa Claus? And I'm going to tell you the thing that perplexed me. You know how Santa Claus is supposed to come through the chimney? And I was like, we don't have a chimney. How you gonna get here? So I
mhm.
figured, like, at some point I seemed like, now I grew up. You don't fall out your chair, alter ego. But I grew up when we didn't have oil heat. We had coal.
Hmm. Okay.
The first couple of years of my life, we had the coal man came to your house, and he put the coal through the basement window, and then you pick the coal up and put it in the furnace. I sound like I'm 7,000 years
I
old.
never heard of that ever.
Come on, somebody that's in my age group,
I've never
help
heard
me.
of that before. I did
You
not know
never.
that was a thing. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I've never heard of that before.
There was no oil. It was coal.
Hmm.
Anybody, please, somebody help me in the chat. Please, please don't leave me. Don't leave me hanging out here, any senior citizens or seasoned citizens, whatever you want to
I
call
gotta
yourself.
make a note because I've never ever heard of that before.
But anyway, so that happened. And so I could not figure out if that was the chimney where, it was coming up. It was no way in the world that he could get through there. Like Kaylee Johnson, I think, said she couldn't figure out how he got through the skylight. I couldn't figure out how he was going. So I think this is how I kind of thought that there couldn't be it could come on, somebody my age. There couldn't be a from real Santa Claus. Nobody remembers this. Carrie, me and you're not gonna be friends no more. She said she doesn't remember. Yes, we had coal heat, not oil heat. We
Where did
eventually
you grow
got
up? Where did you
I
live?
grew up in South Philadelphia. What are you talking about? What
I
did
don't know. Like maybe you lived on a farm somewhere, and I'm
I?
not familiar with that because I never heard of that before.
Oh
Cold
my
heat. Wow.
God. Nobody here. Carrie, what kind of heat did y'all have? She got sorry friend. This is embarrassing. I cannot believe not one person listening to us today knows about cold heat.
Somebody maybe. Let's
Yes,
see.
yes.
South Philly. Where you at?
Yeah,
South
where you
Philly,
at,
stand
South
up.
Philly? We
Mm.
might have been the only people. We were poor. I mean, this this is just the truth of the
Was
matter.
it cheaper to have coal, or it just that was the only option?
To be honest, I thought it was that's how we heated our house. I mean, I don't remember ever seeing an oil truck until I think we moved a little bit further in South Philly, and then we did have oil heat. We had the radiators and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
yeah, if my sister was here, but she, where I don't know where she's at, but we live because we grew up together, so she would
Hmm.
remember that. But coal heat, it was coal heat before it was oil heat.
Hmm.
Just like now we have electric, right? And
Hmm.
gas. Things change as time goes on. But all right, y'all, that left me out hanging. All I'm gonna say is I didn't think that Santa Claus could get through the chimney, so I didn't know, how that was going to happen. And we also did put cookies and milk out for him. That I now know either my mother, my aunt, or my uncle ate those cookies and drank that
Hmm.
milk before we went to bed. Yeah. So, oh, I have a. Let me find. I wanted to bring a poem. I hope Deborah Wright is on here. I don't know if she's heard of this one. I wanted to share with us this beautiful poem by, I'll do the one for women. It's by Lucille Clifton. And Lucille Clifton is the poet that wrote the line, "Every day something has tried to kill me and fail." But she wrote this poem about Mary. It's called "A Song of Mary." And these are her words. And it says, "Somewhere, it being yesterday, I, a maiden in my mother's house, the animals silent outside. It's morning. Princes sitting on thrones in the east, studying the incomprehensible heavens. Joseph carving a table somewhere in another place, and I watching my mother. I smile an ordinary smile." I love that poem. I love the way that poetry speaks of events or times or persons in such a way that to me makes you, think of things more vividly or more widely than you would differently. I just love how it just does something inside of you. It makes you just say, I
Yeah.
never thought of it like that before. I
Yeah.
hope I hope you enjoyed that poem. That's one of my favorites for Christmas.
Yeah. I
Does
think
I
poets
wonder
are
if with our audience,
super creative to be able to use words in that way.
yeah, and there's a few that I wanted to share, but I couldn't even like explain it or even think about it. And one of the things that it is really nice if you have a group of people and you read poetry and then you have a discussion about it, because then you'll hear a different thought that you didn't even think. And people that have read, when I've done some of my poetry readings, and then I'll ask the audience, and then they'll say something. And I'm like, no, that's not what I meant. But
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
they hear something that I didn't even think about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me see. I have another one here. Um, this one is by this is a pretty popular one. It's called "The Work of Christmas" by Howard Thurman, who um, was a African American theologian, mystic, educator, and the one person that I can remember that Martin Luther King, like, he read and studied him religiously, I'll say. And he writes this: "The work of Christmas." Excuse me. "When the song of the angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and princesses are home, when the shepherds are back from their flock, the work of Christmas begins. To find the lost, to heal the broken, to feed the hungry, to release the prisoner, to rebuild the nations, to bring peace among the people, to make music in the heart." Ugh, I really appreciate that one. Um, it, one of the issues with Christmas that I've been thinking about lately is how, even with many things, how we take one day and then we kind of go back to being like who we are, like around the holiday. You used to find people, everybody speaking to each other, everybody saying Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We are smiling and happy and have this glee and this communal love. And then right after it's over with, people go back to what they were before. And he says, that the work of Christmas is more than that Christmas day.
Mm-hmm.
He says that it begins, that day begins and should begin, every year, to find the lost, to heal the broken, to release the prisoner, to rebuild the nations, to bring peace among people, to make music in the heart. I mean, if we could you imagine what would happen if we really lived that out? The work of Christmas.
Hmm. People spend so much time focusing on the gifting and making sure your children have all the things that they ask for and whatever you want to get for your husband or your wife. But there's more to it behind that. And I think when you don't, focus on that and when you don't teach your children that, then they grow up and they continue the cycle. I definitely think it's something that should be continued throughout the year. And it's like what they call it, the Christmas spirit, the spirit of
Yeah.
Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
um, that's definitely something that should be carried out throughout the year. That's
Mm-hmm.
why we're trying to do. We want to do the baskets for the seniors. Probably right after Christmas. Two of my partners, they actually got sick with COVID right now. Um, so right after Christmas, we're just putting some baskets together just for people who sometimes are forgotten around this time. Everybody is focusing on the kids and making sure the children have toys.
Mm-hmm.
But in the spirit of Christmas, everybody wants to get something.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to be thought of.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and a lot of times seniors don't have anybody. And when I was at the flea market with my mom last week, the lady said, I have 17 grandchildren, but I'm only buying one a gift. My mom was like, why? And she said, well, because he's the only one that calls me. He's the only one that says, hey, grandma, how you doing?
Oh my
He's the only
goodness.
one that comes visit me out of 17 grandchildren. So can you imagine how many people have grandchildren and none of them say anything?
Mm-hmm.
So they like the snacks. They like the cheesecakes. I'm like, what if we get them some little baskets, some little cheesecakes, some little
Yeah.
cookies, and some warm socks?
Mm-hmm.
Just
Mm-hmm.
something, simple. We
Mm-hmm.
could drop it off, no pressure,
Yeah.
just to know that, you're thinking of them. I think I give out more during this time than I ever do. Um, Half the time I don't have it. Like I keep $1 in my bag just in case somebody asks for some money. Make sure I can just hand them $1. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I like that fact that even doing something like after
Mhm.
a particular holiday, because then
Mhm.
people, like you said, they kind of go back to not even thinking about, after after Christmas or after Thanksgiving, like you'll get the turkey. Not, and we are not dissing anyone, but think of even just like when somebody passes away, when before the funeral, everybody's at the house and bringing food and all of that, and then the day after the funeral, it's like radio silence,
Mhm.
so thinking about the after is good. I like that.
I
And
say that all the time. Like it's September. Everybody's let's do the kids' hair for school. Let's get them coats. Let's get them book bags. And then they're off to school. But then in March, they haven't had their hair done since September. And now people are
mhm,
talking about them. And now, they haven't had any new clothes or they don't have a spring
mhm,
jacket.
mhm,
Um, so, people do things for the holiday or for the show of it. And I'm not
mhm.
knocking anybody, but
Right. No, I
there's
get it.
always an after, and people always seem to forget that. Even like the A students, you get your scholarships, you get school money.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you're doing really bad, then they have programs to help you. But if you're just in the middle, you kind of are forgotten. So
That's true. That's
everything
very
we
true.
do really about the people that are like in the middle. Just
Yeah.
B and C students, like you want a scholarship money too. You
Mhm.
want to be able to get help too.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that that is something that we can really even think about considering more, what
Mhm.
happens after,
Mhm.
I believe that next week I am going to be delivering a message at a congregation, and that's similar to what God is, saying to me, like what happens after this, you
Mhm.
know, and so I really hope that we're piquing someone's thought about that. That there's always a need, and we can go beyond whatever those moments that most people think about. And with seniors, let me say this: I being one, a phone call is great. Just somebody saying, I
Mhm.
was thinking about you, wishing you a good day. You know, most, a wonderful thing to give somebody is the opportunity to hear them,
Mhm.
just to hear them, just to say, hi,
Mhm.
how are you doing? And then for them to be able to tell somebody, I'm doing okay, or whatever. Just that
Mhm.
listening, that's a gift in itself.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be so huge and magnificent as, sometimes we make things to be. And
Mhm.
it doesn't cost to call somebody.
Nope. And I wouldn't mind because I love listening to stories, and I think that's why I do well with the podcast. Because if you like to talk, I'll listen. I'd rather you tell me about the show than for me to watch it. So I love listening to, especially the seniors. They have so much to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
They just have so much experience, and it just gives you a glimpse into the past, and it can actually help you with something that you're going to do right now in your life.
Yeah.
And if you don't ask them or give them the opportunity to talk about it, then and they probably think nobody cares or nobody wants to hear about it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna keep pushing and doing what I can do, but I'm excited for that. Hopefully, it'll put a smile on somebody's face.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It will.
we're gonna do 30 baskets. So
Nice. Nice. Yeah.
if we
I
get
got
more
really
donations, then
appreciate.
we may do more. So
Yeah. So what donations are you looking to get for the
socks and
students?
snacks. So little
Okay.
bags of chips, cookies, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just cashed up some money. Other people are actually picking up the socks for us.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably go get the baskets this week. And then whatever we get, probably by Sunday, put everything in the basket, make it look cute, and then just
Mm-hmm.
if we get more, then we could probably drop off more. And if you know a senior who you think, is in need of a little bit more love, just, hit me up, let me know. We're still going to do the letter writing campaign, even if I have to write all the letters myself until we get more people on board.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah,
So
just let me
tell us
know.
about the letter writing campaign.
We just want to send letters, probably like once a month. Just
Mm-hmm.
kind of like what you said with the phone call. Hey, how you doing? The first letter
Mm-hmm.
will be just introducing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if they want to write back, they'll write back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even have to be a letter. It could be a card. Hey, how are
Right.
you? Have a good day. Just something,
Mm-hmm.
a surprise. So I don't want them to know ahead of time. So we do have a list of some people, but if you know somebody else, we can add to the list. But just a surprise. They go open their mail, they get a letter or a card. And then if
Mm-hmm.
they decide that they want to continue to communicate that way, then they can.
All right. Well, so I really I appreciate the fact that there are many things that we all can do to bring just glimmers of love, that Christmas spirit, right,
Mhm.
into the lives of the of many people. And I want to say, because this just hit me, don't always think that just because people have family that they're okay, that
Mhm.
they can be just like you said, this young lady that lived in the senior home, out of 17 of her grandchildren, only one was reaching out. So,
Mhm.
sometimes we'll make an assessment. Well, she got all those grandkids. I know that she's okay or he's okay. We don't always know,
Mhm.
who's okay and who isn't okay.
Mhm.
So we can stay in prayer about who God wants us to minister to in such a great way. Um,
Mhm.
yeah. Um, I'm trying to decide, should I do this last poem? Um,
Go ahead.
yeah, yeah, I have one more. And I will say that this is one of mine that I kind of been working on. It's not completed, but I worked on it a little bit, like woke up in the middle of the night. And so here we go. And I'll probably work on it a little bit more. Um, so hope is born on Christmas Day. Peace is born on Christmas Day. Joy is born on Christmas Day. Our world is filled with wonder and worth on Christmas Day, the day when the Savior was born, bursting forth from the darkened womb that housed his breath in hers, that fed from love that surrounded him, born. bursting forth from comfort to give comfort, born, bursting forth with peace and power to give peace and power, yet subdued in swaddling clothes with sublime and splendor. Starlight and starbright glory danced with the stars in the night sky with ecstatic praise. The earth spinned in jubilant joy, and the oceans clapped in unison on every shore. The galaxy's glee is heard in the applause of thunder. The hills wait to be climbed, knowing somebody is going to go and tell it on the mountain, singing the testimony of his birth, the incarnation in the nation. Trees standing at attention in honor of this divine moment when Jesus the Christ is born. The sun shining stupendously and the moon glowing magnificently. This child in a manger born to unlikely parents in an unlikely town. Many will say, how can this be? Well, God set it up. God set in. God drew near. God decided to enter the world God created to show us the way. Hope was born. Joy was born. Peace was born on Christmas Day.
That was good. And you said it's not finished?
No, I just was, kind of playing with words and stuff and
I love that.
scriptures and, just trying to put it together. But I was working on it right before we came on.
You're so talented. That would take me a
Um,
long time to do that. I could do it. It's gonna take a minute though.
oh,
Beautiful
it,
poem, beautiful,
thank you. Praise God.
beautiful.
I mean, I love to think I'm a ponderer like Mary when it said that she pondered things in her heart. And I'm also trying to honor that gift. So like when we get an idea or a thought, and if I don't write it, then it'll go away. And I don't want to lose it because I look at it as a gift that's been given to me. And then one of the things that I probably most writers do this. We keep editing and re-editing, and sometimes things are finished. But
Mm-hmm.
we think we can adjust it or add to it, whatever. So, but I'm grateful to be able to share that with the audience.
Oh,
Um,
such a blessing since the day I met her over 2 decades ago.
2 decades, Romel. Oh. Well, this is the one thing I'm mad about the audience. Don't nobody know about that cold. I'm sitting over here feeling some kind of way about the cold. The cold heat.
We gotta get your sister on the phone because I don't know.
I hope that somebody, whoever sees this in the replay or hears it, listen,
Or
please
somebody in South Philly.
hit me up. Wow. Well, I think that we have pretty much come to the end of the show. This was just
She said it's okay to be different.
it's okay to be. Maybe I was dreaming. Maybe that's when I was dreaming that there was a real Santa Claus.
That is too funny.
Oh my goodness. So we couple things I want to do before we close out. Um we will have our release service with Sacred Space Ministry. Keep looking up and Valerie Stansel, who is a life coach and entrepreneur. We're doing a release service on December the 30th. We want as many people to be there as possible. We believe that as we come out of 2021 and go into 2022, that there are things that we have, and I'm talking about myself, kind of have held on to that have weighed us down. And we want to just have a time of prayer, some scriptures that affirm what will happen when we release, and just come together and leave those things at this virtual altar. It's going to take place on Thursday, December the 30th. You can get the rest of the information and register. The information will be on my Facebook page and most outlets, Instagram accounts. And then we're going to be having a power conference service. And this is in collaboration with Keep Looking Up organization in January 14th and 15th. So we have some wonderful things happening. I also want to say that on Christmas Day, I'm collaborating with the Fellowship of Women Clergy, and we're going to have a 1 hour service on Christmas is on Saturday at 1 p.m. at 1 p.m., 1 to 2 p.m., and we're going to have two speakers. We're going to be singing some Christmas carols. The theme is Let Heaven and Nature Sing. We want everybody to just come on and enjoy that 1 hour. You could be cooking your dinner, telling your child that Santa Claus isn't real. Look what I bought you. Whatever you want to do. But we hope that you'll join us. Then that information will be posted as well on the social media outlets. There are so many wonderful things that are going on. And we really, really, really want to encourage you to let this Christmas spirit live inside of you, and whatever God gives you to how to celebrate on that day and beyond, that we can be the catalyst to do that. So, Khadija, if there's anything I have forgotten, which might be some things I have forgotten, okay, I just before the show ends, I got a little text here that says, yes, coal was a thing. Coal was a thing. Yes, yes, yes. That is, we're going to go and look that up, but thank you for helping me.
We believed you. We believed you.
It wasn't a dream. So, yes, join Sacred Space Ministry and Fellowship of Women Clergy Christmas Day at 1 p.m. Let Heaven and Nature Sing. It's going to be live on Facebook. We are going to just have a great, great time, 1 hour just celebrating, and we want you to come along and celebrate with us. And I want to personally say again, I am so grateful for Khadija Altair Phillips, who asked me to host the show on Sundays at 9 a.m. It has been just a wonderful Christmas blessing to me from the time that we started. I get a chance to talk with someone like you who I love and adore, and someone that really helps me think more widely than I would have thought before. So, I hope you have enjoyed us. And we're not going anywhere. We're just saying Merry Christmas and Happy New
Merry
Year.
Christmas. And thank you for agreeing to be on the show.
Man, this has been great. Greater than, I mean, I didn't even know what I was doing, and you really have helped me. You really helped me a lot. But I really enjoy it, and I hope our audience has been enjoying it. And we look forward to many, 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 many more shows to come.
All right. Well, Merry Christmas.
Blessings. Have a great day. Joy to the
Yeah.
world. The Lord has come.